fucking love this soundtrack so much. You want to know where this soundtrack's from? The game called Paradise Killer. I reviewed it like a couple of months ago. I think there's a video about it. The soundtrack is an absolute banger, honestly. Hello! And welcome to the Friday night stream, where it's not really an E3 stream because there's a gap in the middle. There are things going on, but I decided that, you know what, it's not necessarily the most important stuff, let's just say. There is stuff, like, there's stuff out there, there's live streams going on, like, for today, tomorrow, Sunday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, like, all the time, but the main ones, Saturday and Sunday, and then Tuesday. So I decided I might as well carry on with Sir Brante, Sir Sherlock Brante, if you will, because I was really intrigued by that game at the very, very start. A lot of interesting things about it. Hi guys! Sorry, stream on my phone, so I had to come. Thank you very much. Much appreciated, Donny. Hi Turtle, nice to see you again. Sherlock is in a... What are you doing? Fucking staring at me. He is here. Ow. Don't touch me. Ow. Don't bite me. Ow. He is there chilling in his now new space for the stream. So he has like a little bed. It's literally just a table. It's like a small table with a blanket on it. But he likes to sit and chill there and occasionally bite me in the fucking leg, which is always nice. It's always nice to have a bit of encouragement from your pets while you're streaming. So either way. So yeah, we're gonna do all the E3 stuff tomorrow, starting at 3:30 my time. All the links to the live streams where you can set reminders and stuff for tomorrow are up now. They've got Guerrilla Collective, which is the first one that's happening tomorrow, which is going to be primarily a mix of indie games, but usually have quite like a couple of surprises in there, maybe, and stuff, but mostly indie games, which I'm going to check out. I kind of want to do a video at the end of all the C3 with like 8 top 10 games, whatever, of games I saw during this whole E3 and thought that looks interesting, and kind of just put that in a video at the end of E3 as well. So I kind of want to check as many things as I can. I even watched the Netflix thing that happened today, which was they're promoting it yesterday. That happened a couple of hours ago. It was just them promoting a bunch of animes that they're putting on Netflix. So majority of them were like using video game licenses and stuff like that, but there's a couple of like new IPs and things like that they're doing, and there was a new 12-second trailer for The Witcher, the Netflix series. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, which is kind of cool. It's all online. It's good to have some sort of E3 back with things being announced on a weekend, so it's cool. It's cool. Dan, any new clues on Death Stranding's Director's Cut versus Metal Gear? So what it seems to be, this is just from the internet and what I read afterwards, is, yeah, it's kind of what I thought it was when I think I said it on the stream, is there's going to be like a series of missions, or a new bunch of missions that are more tailored to the stealth mission espionage approach, like in Metal Gear, but just put it in Death Stranding, which I think will work, because like Death Stranding, its controls and everything very much feels like Metal Gear Solid 5. Like it very, like even the look of it is very Metal Gear Solid 5. It's very much that Fox engine kind of look to it. So that, I think that's going to work fine, perfectly. It's just a way, I guess, for Hideo to release some sort of stealth espionage. Kind of, you'll get different areas, and maybe those areas, like we saw in the trailer, are linked to certain references to Metal Gear, like that one in the trailer, very much reminiscent of Shadow Moses' opening level, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it sounds like there's going to be, it sounds like this is going to, it's going to be a mixture of new missions with some graphical updates, obviously, because it's coming out on PS5. But the new missions seem to be tailored to that stealth espionage kind of route, rather than delivery service guy missions. If you've played Death Stranding, you know what I mean. So that seems to be the case. I mean, I will definitely pick it up. Obviously, like if there's new stuff, I love Death Stranding, and if there's new Metal Gear inspired stuff on it and graphical update, all that kind of stuff, it's probably something I will replay again because I did really like it. So yeah, exciting. I don't know anything else than that, but obviously they'll announce. I think they said in a couple of weeks they'll give more details on Director's Cut. There could even be, because it's called Director's Cut, there could even be like commentary from Kojima and things like that. There could be a lot of behind the scenes stuff added onto it. You know how much he loves his film, so he would. No wonder he's called it Director's Cut and stuff. So there could be a bunch of added things they could add to it, but it's not necessarily a brand new game. It's just added content, I guess. There's nothing in E3 I'm terribly interested in. It's, I think that's the majority of people who feel that way about E3. But I said this yesterday. I feel like it's a little bit of a sleeper E3. I think, especially on Sunday when Xbox have their go with Bethesda and stuff. I think that's going to be quite big. I know it's normally big when Xbox do anything, but because the fact that PlayStation are not there again, and Xbox have, within the last year, I would say, have been slowly, this is my opinion, but I think Xbox have been doing a really good job in the last year with everything with Game Pass, with buying Bethesda obviously. I just, in terms of their service, I think they're doing a good job. Like, they're doing a much better job than they did before. Like, they've slowly kind of clawed themselves back. They just need to have those kind of knockout exclusives. We've always kind of said that, like, Xbox is so close to being, like, the preferred platformer choice because of Game Pass and things like that. They just need the games that are going to... the exclusives that are going to challenge Sony's exclusives. Will they do that? I think we're a couple of years away from that, to be honest. They need really like new IPs, new interesting things that are going to like Sony did with Horizon Zero Dawn and things like that. I mean, you could consider God of War a new IP a little bit. It's a different IP. I guess it's a revamped version of it, but it was a new kind of game, technically, from the old one. So. I still think, as I said, yeah, there's going to be a couple of... It's a sleeper E3. Some people think it's not going to be as good. That may be the case, but I think it's just going to... There's some... Hold on. We've already got Elden Ring, which to some people... I know some people don't care about Elden Ring, but I think that's still a big fucking thing, that game's coming out in January. Which is great, and that was on the first day of E3, so... Who knows what else is coming. Exciting. I just like the excitement E3. Even if we don't get that many announcements, I like just having the days where all I do is watch men and women, mostly men, let's be honest, on stage pretty much say how great their game is and how excited they are and stuff like that. Like, that to me is perfect. It's great, and that's why I'm streaming it this year, obviously. So I always look forward to E3 because you never know. You just never know. It's like Christmas Day. You never know what you're going to get sometimes. So, what we got? The shooting part in Death Stranding was pretty good. Guns felt good. Yeah, it was solid, I would say. You didn't use them as much, but yeah, when you did, it was alright. I think I enjoyed it quite a bit. So, yeah, I think they could definitely put like a very Metal Gear side to the missions, like a whole series of them. Like, maybe it's like, I don't know, 20 extra missions, and they're all very tailor-made into that like Metal Gear feeling. So without saying the words Metal Gear, obviously. I wonder how many Easter eggs he's going to fit in that. He's going to fit so many Easter eggs into that goddamn extra content. He's going to put we've already seen like a bunch in that trailer, so there's going to be so many. Like, he's just going to... Every level, the walls are going to have fake... they're going to look like they've just been done up. Like, someone is trying to hide something. Maybe you need some C4, wink wink. You have a brother, Sam, or something. I don't know I don't know how far they can take it, but either way. Okay, let's get this going. Actually, let's get Brante up. So the last time we played this, let me get my memory going a little bit. So the last time we played this, we kind of learned about the whole your lot and everything in this. So basically, your what you represent as a person. And in our case, Sherlock Bronte in this story is, as we got through the kind of early adolescence, kind of like growing up stage, I think as the game finished, we literally just went into like, you're now a teenager kind of mode. So we just did all the kind of stuff as a child. And it was obviously learning about like this world and how people react to different things depending on like your, in a way, your heritage or what you're owed or what kind of person you are. And to us, we weren't as high up as our brother. Now our brother was like, kind of like, think about it this way, he was like next in line and we weren't. We also met the grandfather of the story as well, who turned out to be a bit of an asshole, but we had to kind of side with him a couple of times because he was gonna not like us. There was a chance to kill him as well, which we didn't do. And yeah, it was just basically learning about the game and the limits, I guess. I think that was the main thing. It was like the limits I could go to without getting in trouble, in a way. So there was a lot to kind of learn in the first playthrough and stuff. So imagine Rockstar shows up last minute and reveals GTA 6. Could happen. I highly doubt it, but like you never know. You just never know. Like I'm certain that there's like even knowing if there's no huge surprise announcement at the Xbox thing, almost certainly the Switch Pro is going to be announced. And that's a big fucking thing, because that brings in a lot of things that Nintendo can do if they have like a much better console than they currently have with the Switch. So even that is something to look forward to on Tuesday. I just think on Sunday, all eyes are going to be on Xbox. I just think not only just like having what they have already with Halo and everything that's coming out, new Halo, you know, their existing IPs, you know, they know they're gonna sell those, and that's the kind of thing that people expect. I just feel like not only are they probably gonna say, yeah, all Bethesda games in the future exclusive to Xbox, and by the way, we're making this game exclusive to Xbox, you know, and it's something that's like, whoa. Like Elder Scrolls 6, exclusive to Xbox. That might happen. That might happen. That could be a thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if that is... It might not be 100% exclusive to Xbox. They might do the timed thing, like 1 year timed exclusive to Xbox and stuff like that. But they will say it's exclusive first to Xbox. Or they'll use some sort of language or something. But that's a big deal. Like, that is a huge fucking deal. Like, one of the biggest franchises in video games is coming to Xbox. Probably first. Maybe not forever, but probably first. And imagine they say it comes out next year or something. Like, you don't know. There's so many kind of routes they could go down to surprise people. So that's why I'm excited for Sunday. Who knows? It might disappoint me. I'm expecting someone to disappoint me. One of the conferences to be disappointing or something. So, okay, let's get into this again. So we've reached our childhood. We're just about hit adolescence, and I think we just finished childhood, so we probably are just moving into adolescence. Then we hit youth, and peacetime, then the revolt. So this is going to be, if you haven't seen this before, this is going to be a lot of me talking. It is very much like a story kind of book kind of feel to it, but it's an RPG. So we have stats and different things that we've built up so far as a kid. So determination, confidence, I want to say. I think determination. Oh god, what was the other ones? I'll find out in a second, but I can't remember all of them. But choices you make in your life will affect how much stats you get or how much you lose. You also get certain things called destinies, which I think from playing it last time affect certain things that may happen in later on in life, maybe really, really far in life. So one of the things we picked was learning how to use a sword. I can't use a sword in this story because I know my lot, and that basically just means you're not allowed to. Essentially, you're a child who is not allowed to do that kind of thing until you kind of proven yourself. There's a lot of religious talk as well and things like that. I think the very last thing I remember is we were in that religious temple thing, and we just got our training in secret from our father, and we were kind of bending down. We had to like essentially get whipped, essentially, because people who are not lucky enough don't get treated well in this kind of world. And we made the decision to I think it was not kiss the sword, it was like to grab the sword or something, or was it to kiss the sword? To kind of show like, I'm ready, I don't need to kind of do this. And it kind of paid off a little bit. The grandfather kind of liked us a little bit, even though he's a bit of an asshole. But I wonder where it's going to go. You can die easily, very easily, from the sounds of it, and you may never make it till old age. I think it will get harder as time goes on, obviously. I think it's a lot easier now when you're a child, but there was an option to be killed once in this game so far. So, and you get 4 deaths, I think. You get 3 deaths where you can kind of come back and learn from your mistake, but I think 4 is the limits and stuff. Not allowed to yet, yeah. I wonder if they'll make an exception for me, since I kind of showed off a little bit last time. Like, oh, he's quite good with a sword, maybe. Maybe he's the one. Or something. Anyway. So. This is, from what I remember, just coming back from the sacraments. Which is where we did that kind of, I'm not doing what you're telling me to do. I'm a bit of a rebel, basically, because I don't like the way the teachings are teaching me. Yeah, grab the sword and show the nobles you're more like them than a mere commandeer. Yeah, that was it. So we'll see the repercussions of that now, I guess. The mark left on you by the sacrament takes a long, long time to heal. Mother says it's a reminder of your lot, suffering and sufferance, pain and patience. Gloria shows you the mark of the lash on her shoulder one day. It will never disappear. So Gloria is her sister. Gloria, the interesting thing we found out actually is Gloria and our brother. So Gloria has came from a different father. And our brother, he came from a different mother. We share the same, me and my brother share the same father, but my mother is, oh no, I'll have to check that again. I probably said that completely wrong. Let me check in a minute, so just so I remind myself. You're a commoner now. This is your lot you were born into. But father keeps telling you to study hard, so you may yet earn a different lot and become noble of the mantle. You recall the past with warm sadness, when Stefan still lived with you, or when he wrote. Oh, God, I need to get back into this. I need to get back into talking again a lot. I haven't done it for a while. When Stefan still lived with you, or when he wrote to you for a short time shortly after he left. Now he thinks it beneath him to write to the commandeers and his family. Mother didn't lock herself in the bedroom as often back then. This changed shortly before Nathan was born. Oh yeah, and then we had Nathan, which was a little baby that nearly got killed by our mother because he wouldn't stop crying. Yeah, forgot about that as well. We did stop the mother doing it, right? Yeah, we did. But yeah, he was a bit mad. But most importantly, you missed the time before the terrifying figure of your grandfather was constantly looming over you. You learned the true power of the lot only after the head of the family's arrival. In grandfather's eyes, no commandeer deserves to be treated with kindness. Is this just him? Or is it a way out of the entire world? The very thought makes you queasy. You are older now, and once more, you are an elder brother now. You've learned how to care about someone else, how to teach, and how to protect. Soon you are a small boy no longer. As days pass, play gradually gives way to laborious study. Now your choices will decide your place in the bizarre and ruthless world of adulthood. Your childhood years are over. Okay. So, this is everything that's kind of happened so far. These are the kind of destiny tokens we got. So we got one for the fencing lesson, as I said. These are like, I guess they're important things down the line because I think they affect certain things way down the line, as in learning how to fence, challenging the sacred order when I shouldn't have. They're the only two I got, but we've been through the whole thing in terms of being a young child and stuff. Let me just take a look at the family again so we can remember exactly what it is. So, yeah. So, us, Sherlock Brante, and Nathan. So, Nathan is the youngest. He was just born like a couple of years ago. He's the youngest out of everyone. We both came from Roberts, and we came from Lydia. Lydia had a child before us, before she met Robert, with a different person called Gloria. And Robert and Amelia had our eldest brother, technically like a stepbrother, Stefan, who is he's the oldest, with a woman who is dead now. She died. So that's because that's what happens when Robert met Lydia. He had these children here and stuff, except for Gloria, who came from another father. These are the only two, myself and Nathan, who are actually from Lydia and Robert. That's it. And then we got Gregor, who is the grandfather, who is just as much of an asshole as most people in this game. Let's put it that way. Although I do like Robert. I think the only person I kind of trust, Gloria as well, she kind of gets untreated quite fairly because of her lot and things like that. Robert, he's still very much like, you can't do this. But when I got him to do the fencing thing, he kind of was like, okay, let's give it a go, but don't tell anyone, kind of thing. So he has a little bit of leeway and care and stuff. But Gregor pushes him around a lot. And Lydia, she's a bit meanie, and what she did to Nathan, which was nearly killed him as a baby, was also quite questionable. Stefan was an asshole, but he got sent away because Gregor was like, he can't live in this family. He's turning into his son, I guess. Robert, maybe. Maybe he doesn't like the way he was turning out. So, let's continue then. Okay. So we got a personality. So this is everything the stats we have at the moment because of all the choices we made. So we have determination, which is at 6, maximum of 10. Perception's at 4, maximum of 10. Willpower has a maximum of 30. We're on minus 10, I think, because the last action we did, we had to use a lot of willpower to go against what people wanted us to do when we were at that sacrament and stuff. So we're at minus 10 willpower, so I'll try get that back up a little bit. Deaths untouched. We get 4 deaths. I think that's the pretty much game over. But you can die 3 times by the looks of it. Death is not always the end, essentially. So, but it does affect you in some way. Maybe your stats change. I think your stats do change. We'll go back to normal maybe when you die, possibly. And Grandpa Gregor wanted your father to marry a noble woman. He even invited her to the house in front of your mother. Yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah. I don't think anything happened with that. So the woman came in and I sort of was just like going along with it, even though my actual mother was like crying all the time because she was like, why are you making my husband try to, you know, make my husband try to bang this woman? Something like, grandfather, why are you doing this kind of thing? So, yeah. Let's see what happens then. End of childhood. 8 years old.
I was growing up fast. The school, the streets, and the whole wide world awaited me beyond the gate of my parents' house.
There's very little cutscenes in it, but it's like a little bit you get at the start of every kind of chapter. Okay, chapter 2, Adolescence. I don't know if we'll get the whole game done because we still have to go through a bunch of other things. I think there's like 3 or 4 chapters, maybe 5. So it probably will take another stream to complete it. But we'll see how far we get with this. It's also really, really hot. See, I told you, Cyril. It's starting to warm up now. It was okay yesterday with the heat, but Jesus, the heat is... It's getting to me. I'm a terrible person with the heat as well because I have to get like... I have an aircon. Like I spent like £300 to buy like this portable aircon thing. In England, that's a weird move to make because it's like, well, it's never hot here. It's always raining. I can't stand the heat. Like it stops me from doing anything work-wise, anything like that. So I have to have it. Haven't turned it on yet, but I'm very close to doing it. Might have to do it on the weekend, but we'll see. Okay, chapter 2. You lived in this world for 8 years now. As you grow older, life grows more complex. The world of your childhood was limited to your house and family, but now that realm is expanding. It also includes your neighborhood, the nearby houses, the streets of the ancient city of Azinote. I think I pronounced it last time. Anzizote. Well, just call it that. A question now looms over you, growing more pressing with each pressing year. What will your place be in the vast outside world? Few people in the blessed Arcanian Empire trouble themselves with this question. It's not within a man or woman's power to choose. Their destiny is predetermined by their birth and those who bore them. There we go. And yet your peculiar birth has granted you a choice. Your father is a man of nobility, a worthy example in matters of duty and honor. Your mother is a commandeer who, of lowly estate, humility, and patience made flesh. And your sky is ablaze day and night with the light of the shining pillar, the beacon of the clergy. Your back bears the mark of the lash. Whether you accept the drudgery and suffering that is the lot of the lowborn for your entire life, or will you follow in the footsteps of your father and your father's father and fight for the right to serve the empire as a noble of the mantle? Perhaps you will follow the twin gods' word and offer spiritual guidance to others. So there was a thing that the sister Gloria said as well. I think she mentioned something like... She was very cryptic when she was like something about they're always listening, and I think when we were trying to debug it, it was her teaching me about the twin gods, because she said there was always 2 of them. So I was thinking, oh, that's mum and dad, but no, it's twin god religious kind of side to it of the game. And so I think you can go down a route of being very religious, or you don't have to, as well as, you know, do you want to be a lowborn, or do you want to be nobleman, or whatever? Like, it seems to be like different paths you can take. You know, you could end up being priest, maybe. I remember people saying before I bought this game, like, your job or your role as a adult could change depending what you do here as a kid, as a teenager or whatever. It could very much change later on in the game. But we'll see. Not really sure what I want to do yet, but we'll see. The answer lies out there in the vast, terrifying world. What awaits you beyond the walls of your home? A lot of fast food. Okay. I think, did I read this? Oh yeah, I read all that. Okay, so these are the events that can happen to the Brante family in this chapter. So we got 4 events that we could get. I don't really want to see them because they're kind of spoilery, aren't they, a little bit. So let's not gloss over them too much. Oh, personal life. Events in the personal life of the hero that can happen in this chapter. Okay, I think that's new. I don't know if we got any personal ones. I think they were just events. Now there's personal ones. So we got a couple here. Your personal qualities of this age can determine what choices you make. Oh, okay. So these are new, right? Yeah, nobility. These are all new. So we got more stats to look after. Okay. So nobility, ingenuity, and spirituality. Jesus, can't even talk today. Spirituality. So we have to look. So these are 10, right? These are 10 maximum. Okay. That represents how noble your thoughts and deeds are in your pursuit and honorable ideas of the nobleman. Represents how quick-witted you are and how skillfully you can manipulate a situation to your own end. I think that's probably going to be one that I'm going to go after. Your aspiration to unlock the mysteries of creation and explore the divine in the mortal world, the people around you, and yourself. This affects your ability to become a priest and future skills critical for the clergy. Okay, so that is the religious side of things. Okay, so we need to keep that in mind. Your inner strength and number of lesser deaths they've experienced. These qualities will stay with you for your entire life. Okay. Sections that were open in this chapter. Relations screen is now available. Okay, we got new stuff. Province screen is now available. Map of the Empire screen is now available. Okay, let's have a look at these things then so I can just have a quick... Oh, obviously, no relations. Province... Okay, so... My cat jumps on the wall again. -4, -4. So these go up to 5? 10, 10, 5, 5. Okay, so the first 2 are 5. These ones are 10. The welfare of the province and its population determines the doctorate rights and traditions practiced by the majority of the population. Current balance of power in Magra and who rules the province. Order. Who oversees it. Okay. And then the map of the Empire. Oh my good god. Okay, so... Jesus, this game's much bigger than I thought it was. There we are, right? But we could end up going to all of these places. And... I think we've already been to... been to Eterna? I think we have. That's where the kind of confirmation was, I think. Okay, there's a lot. There's a lot more than I thought there would now. Okay, so we have to think about a lot more things, and there's more things coming. Looks at things. But I do like that they slowly give you things. Like, they give you time, like a whole chapter to kind of get used to everything, and then add a little bit more. Let's go. The boy down the streets. The family expects you more and more as you grow up. The teachers and tutors hired by your father keep you on your toes all the time. Your life these days is dedicated to studying for your future, for the future of the Brante family. Your younger brother, Nathan, keeps growing up too. He can hold a conversation now. You never refuse him when he comes to play, provided you have a bit of free time between your demanding lessons. It's a rainy day today. Father and mother have gone to a ball, and they left Nathan in your care. You lose track of time over the books in the sitting room, and Nathan goes off alone to splash in the creek. Soon you hear his voice begging you to come outside. He's on a porch, sobbing, and all covered in dirt. You walk up to him, and he continues to bawl. I forgot what Nathan's voice is. I know I did a voice for the brother that was like... I can't remember the voices I did, so either way. It's all that kid. He pushed me into the ditch and he called me names. He said I was a fancy pants fool. I said I'll call my brother. He's still there. You have to go punish him, Sherlock. Nathan points at the loop-sided wooden house further down the street where the poorer artisans live. You see two boys lingering there on the porch, so they're poorer than us. We're the poorer artisans. Okay. They're clearly both commoners, but far from poor. One of them is almost as tall as Nathan. He frowns in a funny way, just like him. They're clearly about commoners, but far from poor. That's a contradiction to what you said in the first paragraph, but okay, that's fine. Maybe they don't dress like they're poor. Maybe they, I don't know. Maybe they steal? I don't know. The other looks older, almost your age, but he's more broad-shouldered and taller. His name is Tomas. You've heard it before. There's Sherlock, that's him! Nathan points at your younger brother and hides behind your back. Tomas grins and rolls up his sleeve to reveal strong forearms. He must have been helping his father with manual labor for quite some time. What's his voice? Listen up, rich boys. We don't give a damn about your friendship. We don't let anyone call our home about stinking rat hole your little brother earned his ditch dive. Why does he sound like some sort of action hero guy? Ditch dive. Maybe next time he'll dress normal and stop picking fights with people who can throw him in the mud. Sounds like an action hero with a really bad pronunciations. Arnold Schwarzenegger, maybe. Maybe that's controversial. Your hands clench into fists before you can react. Nathan called them names first. No wonder they did the same. That's how it goes. We're pushing your brother into a ditch. Too much. Tomas stands tall and confident. He sees no threat in you. You're about to get ready for a fight when you feel a tug on your sleeve. You turn your head to see Nathan, the one who started the whole mess. Okay. So, clues-wise, these guys were on a poorer family, but they don't look like they're poor. They don't dress like they're poor from the sounds of things. Nathan called them names, and then they went to punch, or they pushed Nathan. Now, Nathan is... let me think. Nathan is lowborn because he came from the same mother as mine. So we're both lowborn because we're from the same, basically, mother and father. So, lowborn. So I need to keep that in mind as well. So what does he want? So we can't listen to your brother first because we don't have good enough relations with him. Okay. So we have the options of come at Tomas and give him a beating. Nobility will go up. Relations will go up with Tomas. Why will relations go up? Does he like getting beaten up, or maybe he likes getting beaten up? Get father's sword and slay them for insulin. I mean, off with their heads straight away. Say your brother is to blame. So if we say that, then integrity, ingenuity goes up. And Thomas goes up in relations. So, no, if I beat him up, his relations go up with me. If I say my brother's to blame, his relations go up with me. I'm a bit confused about that, but either way. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. I didn't mean to click that. I was trying to... Okay. Whoops. I didn't mean to click that. Whoops. I think... I may have probably picked this one anyway. Resolve it peacefully. So... Whoops. Anyway, let's pretend that didn't happen. Hopefully that doesn't do anything terribly to me. I didn't see what it does to my stats. Whoops. Okay, let's just see what happened. I probably would have picked that anyway. Maybe. This quarrel can be resolved peacefully. You turn to Thomas and offer to solve the problem like adults. His brother will apologize to Nathan, and Nathan will apologize to him in return. There is no need to fight anyone anymore. You give Nathan a piece of your mind when you get home. You and Tomas are all grown up and should act your age, you say. The blood rushes to Tomas's face when he hears this. Act your age, you say? Are you calling me a baby? You better shut up your trap. This is all he says before he attacks. You barely dodge a fist flying in your face. You start trading blows, huffing and puffing with rage. The younger brothers yank in awe at the sight. Tomas does not resort to fancy moves, dirty tricks, or stupid taunts. He displays nothing but skill earned in many a street fight, and his heavy fists aim for your head. You keep dodging him again and again, trying to reach him. He takes a couple of glancing blows, but easily shakes them off. What a bruiser! You start swinging your fists with greater and greater fury. Your heart is pounding like a hammer. You see nothing but the foe in front of you. How much longer will this take? You're all worn out. Your breath grows ragged. Your muscles grow heavy. There is no way you can give up now. Nathan is watching you. Desperate and out of options, you swing and punch Tomas square in the face, then immediately let his fist smack you in the temple. The blow rings through your head like a bell and blinds you for a moment. The world swims before your eyes. You clutch at your head to get your bearings. Tomas is standing in front of you, blood dripping from his nose. You no longer want to fight it out, and it seems your opponent would rather end it too. But you keep standing there, eyeing each other angrily. Then suddenly you hear an angry shout right next to you. An enraged man in a craftsman's apron is shaking his fist. Thomas' face contorts in terror right away. It's my father, run! The punishment for fighting is flogging, and the mere prospect of that makes you run like the wind. Tomas sprints in front of you. You dash across the rotten wooden planks of the back alley, up and over a lopsided fence, across a giant puddle in one leap, and then forward into a tall grass. You hide there and stay quiet. You hear no sound of pursuit. You exchange glances with Tomas and start laughing. His laughing is loud and infectious, but soon he cuts it short and grows sadder. I'm gonna get flogged anyways. My dad's always quick to give me a beating, and then he'll start nagging me about it, the lots and the prayers for days like he always does. Why do I always get myself mixed with this stuff? But fighting's the only way to prove you're worthy of anything, right? I'm alright. The adults didn't see you fighting, but you tell him all you have to do now is convince them you weren't. Nosebleeds happen, right? Mother gets nosebleeds all the time. Well, we could try it. Let's hope our little brothers don't tell on us. I'll talk to mine. There's a scratch on your head, don't let them see it. Good thing I didn't hit you in the face. There, good as new. Best, buddy. You assure him that Nathan will never tell, and in return, you'll make sure he behaves himself so he won't get tossed into a ditch again. With that, shake hands with Tomas. His handshake is as strong as you would expect, based on his fist. You make your way out of the tall grass. You need to leave before Tomas' father goes to your family and complains about you breaking your lot. You come to the realization that on your way back you had no idea the place where you were hiding even existed, and it wasn't too far from home. Tomas smiles in excitement when he hears this. Oh, I know lots of places like that. I'll tell you what. If we get out of this mess today, I'll show you... change his voice again. I'll show you the way of the old fortress wall. It's the perfect place to build your own fort. I dragged a bunch of wooden planks there. Too bad it's no fun to build all along. My brother never helps. He just gets in the way. We made a friend. Your relations with Tomas goes up because you show him who's the boss. Your father's a nobleman after all. Yeah. I see, I didn't know. I guess, like, you gotta consider that not everyone is a nobleman. Like, you gotta consider that not everyone is gonna be higher or lower than you. It's a little bit confusing sometimes, but, like, you just gotta figure out people and stuff. But anyway. We made a friend. I don't think we lost anything. We just got relations. Our relations always went up with every choice that was available to us, so... Okay. Spirituality went up. And that's the only thing. You made a friend. The Tomas is our friend. Will he betray us? Who knows? 9 years old. Riders on the road. It is a blistering hot day today, tell me about it, even for the sun-parched land of Magra. As soon as you are done with your studies, you dash outdoors and out of the stuffy room. You and Tomas roll up your sleeveless shirts. Your shirt sleeves, rather, but it barely helps. You would gladly go shirtless had you only been in the company of other boys. But there are 3 girls in the yard today. They are doing the laundry in a big wash tub, whispering and giggling. If you could, you would gladly keep watching one of them at work. Oh, you gonna be in love? Oh, she has big eyes of deep blue. She has big eyes of deep blue. Her dark hair is braided, and her plain grey dress is mended and patched all over. Her name is Sophia. She throws her head back a little when she laughs. The rays of sun are reflected in her eyes. Aww, our little boy Sherlock is in love. You, Tomas, and the other boys keep telling silly stories. Anything to make her laugh. Oh, I've got to do Sophia's voice now. You sure love telling tales. I can do plenty of like all English like accents and stuff, but I think I'm gonna run out of them and people will start sounding the same. So, you sure love telling tall tales, Sherlock. Oh, I remember this one time. ... But then Sophia hears a voice calling her home. She nods to you and runs across the street, smiling. Her light steps carry her forward, but her eyes are looking elsewhere. Then a stone on the road catches her foot. She stumbles and falls flat into the dust. Uh-oh. The street starts shaking from the thundering of hooves. Riders appear on the road from round the corner. They bear a coat of arms you recognize right away. Sable serpent blade upon the field of furt. It symbolizes the Middleas dynasty and the family of your Providence Archduke. Okay, let me read that again. It symbolizes the Middleas dynasty, the family of your Providence Archduke. The horses dash forward. A lost wooden toy on the road cracks under the hooves. They will not slow down. They are the nobles, and the rest must make way for all of them. I'm having a hard time reading that fucking sentence. Oh, let's not click the wrong thing. I mean, we can only pick... Oh, what? We can't pick anything else. Stay where you are. Oh, come on. Is it my determination or something? Oh no, what was that? That was at -10. Oh no. Sophia is in their way, just now starting to get back to her feet. Her mother is crying for it desperately from behind. Her mother is crying for her desperately from behind the fence door. Jesus Christ, I'm really having a hard time reading this. You freeze in terror. The riders surely see the girl. Are they going to stop? Or are they going to trample her? In only a few moments, the beautiful girl will be toppled, trampled, and crushed. Well, what was it I needed? Yeah, it's willpower. Oh, for God's sake. I said I was going to get the willpower back up. Oh, no. Oh, if I did shield her, I would have died. Ah. Yeah, I guess I would, wouldn't I? I would have died if I shielded her. Your dreams are shattered just like that. I mean, we just met the girl. She's already about to die. Sophia dies her first death. Does that mean she comes back? Okay, so let's... Doesn't matter with Sophia. She's a commandeer. You want a noble woman. Yeah, Toro, but it's all about true love, alright? You know, maybe I want true love. Maybe Sophia's the true... I mean, she's gonna die anyways, but it says she dies her first death, like we have. Maybe we start to learn how people can come back to life here. That's also going to be an interesting thing. Let's see. Either one of us is going to die. It's just, unfortunately, it's going to be her. Can't do anything about it. I would have tried and saved her, but you know. You stand frozen by the roadside, unable to look away as a cloud of dust covers the entire street. She might have been really mean as well. We don't know her. She might have been really, really mean. Maybe. You feel as if a massive, maddening beast whipped into a mercilessly frenzy has just passed by. You hear no screams, no cracking bones, nothing but the deafening din of the hooves. Once the horses are gone and the dust settles, you can finally see the road again, and the repulsive blob of blood, flesh and bone left on it. You still see traces of Sophia in that mess, her dark hair, the remains of her dress, but it is no longer her. Damn, that's dark. Sophia's earthly remains slowly dissipate and melt into the air. Her mother's eyes are filled with grief as she watches. He hunches over and slowly walks back into the house. You can still hear the riders far away down the road. None of them even bothered to look back. See, that's what's messed up. I don't like this whole traditional system. I'm gonna fight this whole thing. Like, it's one thing going like, oh, I'm gonna follow your rules and not marry a noble woman and sorry, just like a commandeer woman and stuff and marry noble, like, fine, but we're gonna fight the system. We're gonna make changes in this town. That's the kind of person I'm gonna be, because if it wasn't for that, Sophia might have been still alive, and you know, she's the love of my life that I met like 5 minutes ago. He would have still been here to maybe talk to me, maybe like me, maybe enjoy my jokes a little bit more, but no, now she's dead, killed by a bunch of fucking horses, and no one even cares except her mother. So there you go. That's what I'm gonna do. You say to yourself. Your friends walk away at a loss for words. You make your way home, dazed by what you have seen. You are still dazed as you retell these events to your mother, unable to look up from the floor. After a moment of silence, she embraces you and calms you down. Poor girl, what a terrible, painful death. But you must know that it was not her true death. By the twins' mercy, we are all given enough time in this world. Should you die before your time, you will be brought back by their grace. Ah, okay. before our time, so there's a set time, I guess, by what choices we make and stuff. Interesting. For 3 times, they will rescue you from a terrible fate. But the 4th death is true and final for all. So yeah, we already know that. 4th death. If I get the 4th death, that's it. Game over. Every loss of life we were granted at our birth is a heavy blow to us. But the gods told us not to mourn a lesser death. Everyone will keep on living as though nothing has happened, even Sophia's parents. The family is poor, and they have no family crypt like we do. When the girl's soul comes back to life, her body will be reborn in the city church with all her wounds healed. Do not mourn her, my son, but thank the twin gods for their justice. Ooh. So, is that for everyone? So I wondered if it, like, if we killed someone like in the family, but we didn't know how many deaths they had. So they were on their, they just had the 3rd death and then they died again. That would be it. Does this affect everyone, I guess, in the game? Not sure. Not sure. You see Sophia by our house a few days later. She looks completely fine, without so much as a scratch. The other children tell you that her parents have now forbid her to leave the yard after dying such an early 1st death. You call out Sophia's name, he looks at you briefly, then walks back inside. Oh, he didn't like us because we didn't fucking save her. I couldn't do anything. Sorry. She has died her 1st death. Okay, so 3 more and that's it. She's gone forever. Sophia never talks to you again? Oh. Is that it? We never see her again? Or maybe she will. Maybe she will turn up one day. But she definitely is not our friend. Oh well. Burn it all. That's what I feel like. I feel like everything needs to be changed. This is just wrong. This world is wrong. Everything's wrong. I do like the thing of if you fuck up and die, you can still come back and kind of act like nothing has happened. That's kind of cool. At least you can cheat death a little bit, but maybe that has consequences if you do that. Hidden consequences. Maybe. Sophia disappeared after the terrible incident with the horses. Her friends gossip that her parents sent her off to serve a rich, noble dynasty. You haven't seen each other since that day. You still remember Sophia's eyes, the sunlight shining on them. But no matter what, life goes on. It does. It does go on. Sophia never talks to you again unless you command her to speak to you when you become a nobleman. Is that a potential spoiler? I guess that's just a guess. I don't know, probably. If that was the case, you might meet her down the line. Again. You are 10 years old now. Your studies continue and you are learning more about the land you live in. Aznazi is an ancient city with an imperial province by the name of Magra. All soul in Magra was turned to ash eons ago, scorched by magic during the rebellion of Duke Char Midlandius? That word is really strong, right? The magical arts are all but gone now, but the scorched earth has remained barren and infertile ever since. Since then, the entire province has laid barren, tormented by cold and scorching winds in equal measure. With a few precious plants taking roots on their own. All fertile land in Magra is bought elsewhere, bought here by an endless caravan of carts and carriages. Pay for food and soil, the cities of Magra became skilled in many trades, primarily mining and digging for metals and stone. Okay, so it's a mining town. Mostly. All land is bought elsewhere. All fertile land in Magra is bought elsewhere. Bought here by endless caravan of carts and carriages. So people just from outside town. Okay. No spoilers, I haven't played the game, just trying to make jokes, or trying to. It's fine. I mean, it could happen if you think about it. If you become a nobleman and then you see, oh, you see Sophia, your first love, and you're like, you have to speak to me now. Could happen, you never know. If I go down that route, obviously. Last fall, there was an explosion just outside the city, followed by clouds of thick smoke. The first such incident frightened citizens, but then explosions and smoke became an everyday occurrence. Soon everyone grew used to it. Father explains that the miners are using a new invention called gunpowder. Makes it easier for them to reach the precious stones and metals buried deep within the earth. I wonder if gunpowder was... This might sound like a stupid fucking question, so bear with me a bit. I got a B in history, I'm okay, I guess. But, like, I'm okay with my history, but there's something that kind of makes me think. Maybe, actually, because maybe this is like a fantasy kind of world. Maybe they didn't have guns, but they had gunpowder first. Because I thought, well, no, they would have to have the gunpowder first before a gun or a bullet would have been made. Maybe it was just called gunpowder later down the line. See what I mean? What came first, the gun or the gunpowder? Got you thinking, because I think they have gunpowder in explosions, obviously. Yeah, like we're talking about with the mining and stuff. But would it be called gun? Like in this game, it's called gunpowder, right? But they don't have any guns yet. So is it a case of it was called gunpowder first, and then they made a gun from the gun? They made something from the gunpowder, which turned out to be a gun, which they called gun because it's a shortened version of the gunpowder. I don't know. I'm pretty sure gunpowder was made first and then the guns followed. But I'm just questioning why it was called gunpowder first, if there was no guns. You see what I mean? Has Dan done a stupid? Has Dan done a top live stream fail of the week? Get it clipped. Genuinely, I'm like, if that was what it was called, I can't remember. I don't remember if it was like back in the day when they had gunpowder. Did they call it gunpowder? These are the things that keep me up at night, everyone. Then one day, a thunderous explosion rocks the city, and black, billowing smoke covers the houses. People are stuck in their homes, all windows tightly shut. The air is impossible to breathe. Nathan coughs all the time. Gloria and you cough only when nobody is watching. If Mother hears it, she'll make you inhale those hot herbal vapors just like Nathan. Lemsip. It takes 2 days for the black smoke to disperse. People pour out of the street to meet their friends. Tomas is eager to share everything he knows about this incident with you. It was called black powder, I think, or something. Was it? Okay. Because that would make sense if they had it first. Didn't know what a gun was because they didn't invent it yet. And then just used... yeah, the gunpowder to make a gun. That's interesting. It was called black powder. Wow, okay. I did think it was under a different name. It must have been, because they wouldn't call it gunpowder. Oh, we found some new material. Gunpowder. What's a gun? Okay, let's see what Tomas has to say. They took lots of burnt up people to the city temple. Mom told me she was helping the healers. Okay. I keep thinking I'm skipping a page. There are many rumors. Some claim it was the work of a beast stirred from its slumber, while others say it's the surviving witches that continue to threaten the order in the Empire with the accursed powers. As for you, you patiently wait for Father to come back home, and then you'll ask him about it. Father spends day and night working at the prefecture while Mother spends all her time in prayer. It takes a full week for Father to finally come home, and he's almost completely spent. You muster up enough courage during dinner to ask him what happened outside the city. Father raises his head. His face is a bleak, weary mask, and starts muttering his proclamation. It's almost as if he doesn't see you. It's the mine. It's the mines outside the city, son. They were trying to get to a vein of ore. There was an explosion. The mine caved in, and the black smoke started following. Many workers died there. It was all because Count El Velasco, who owns the mines, wanted them to start mining that vein before they were ready. Some of the workers weren't even reborn. Perhaps the twins thought their final time had come. The prefecture has been inundated with complaints from families that they've lost their breadwinners, asking the judges for help. Many people also lost their cattle to the black smoke. El Count Velasco blames gunpowder for the disaster. The prefecture and the newspapers just repeat whatever he says, but it's plain old greed and tyranny of noblemen that are to blame. Why is the welfare of our providence always paid for the commandeer lands? Yeah, Dad. What am I saying? All time. Then without warning, he grows silent again. You keep thinking about it for days. Can a human life really end so easily? A single moment of bad luck, you die, only to re-emerge from the temple or the family crypt with a new black mark on your arm. Or worse, you remain where you fell, dead, never to be reborn again, ever. So some people not reborn is interesting. So that could mean if I was to kill or have someone killed or something, for example, or someone died, there's a chance they might not come back. But he did say something. There's something interesting it says here. A single moment of bad luck and you die, only to re-emerge from the temple or the family crypt with a new black mark on your arm. So does that mean every time you die you get a black mark on your arm to signify how many times you've died? So maybe you could see how many of these people, or is it just a figure of speech? It could be an actual black mark on your arm. That way you'll be able to see how many times someone has died, essentially, or been reborn again. Okay, order's gone down. The wealth has gone up. The order has gone down. Uh-oh. Our brother's back. Oh no. Oh dear brother, it's so nice to see you again. How you been? How's things? Grandfather treating you well? Nah, I didn't think so. Remember when you were an asshole to me when we were younger? Oh, we had a great time. I'm a lot bigger now. Not a lot bigger. I'm like, what age am I? Like 10 or something? Can't remember now. But yeah, a little bit bigger. Anyway, during lunch, Father tells you to stay home in the evening and prepare to meet some important guests. Your elder brother Stefan will return home by dinner tonight. Joining him will be your grandfather, great, Gregor Brante, as well as a noble friend of the family. You are excited about your brother's return. It's been years since you last saw him. How has he changed during his years away from home? Probably bad. He's probably turned into his grandfather, which is probably a bad thing. I think they actually said that when our father went to go see, obviously, his son Stefan. He was slowly starting to realize that his personality was slowly becoming different, like, you know, similar to the grandfather, because grandfather had him do lessons under his kind of watch, so he would make sure that he would be a good specimen or something. don't know. You and your father await the guests anxiously. The doorbell rings. 3 people are standing outside. Grandfather is the first to come in, naturally. He has not changed a bit since his last visit, still eyeing the house with contempt, looking for any reason to I needed to burp at the same time I had to say a word, demean it, and it was really hard. Looking for any reason to demean it. There we go. That's what happens if you drink... Oh god, is that him? What happens if you drink Coke Zero or any fizzy drink? Well, you have to talk a lot. You constantly have to let some air out a little bit. Out of your mouth. Out of your mouth. Not any other area of your body. Your mouth. Grandfather is followed by a stately young man dressed in a jacket embroidered in silver, whom you barely recognize as your brother. Stefan casts a glance at your threadbare clothes and your dirty fingernails, and smirks. Is he even more of an asshole now? Maybe he wasn't as bad before, but now he's probably even more of an asshole. The last to enter the house is a personable gentleman with a worn-out, wrinkled face. You have heard a lot about this man from father and grandfather. He is Baron Augustin Elborn, Stefan's uncle, a family friend and Providence's prefect, which means that he is head judge and thus father's superior. Sir Elborn smiles lightly and offers you his hand. So, Stefan's uncle, right? If he's Stefan's uncle, that would make him Robert's... Oh no, because No. That would make him Robert's brother, but he's not. So does that... And his son. Does that mean he came from this side? Or is uncle just something they just call anyone who's close? Like the uncle from her side who's died, since Stefan came from these two. I wonder if, yeah, Amelia's like brother. Possibly. Oh no, Elborn! Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Of course, Elborn. I was thinking, I've heard that name before, Elborn. Yeah, it's Amelia's brother. So, Amelia's brother is the superior to Robert. And Amelia's dead. Robert's still alive, he's remarried, got new kids, but still has Stefan. Interesting. Ah, okay. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I was thinking like I saw Elborn before. It's like, where have I seen Elborn before? And then realized it was from the first wife of our father. Interesting. Augustine Elborn. And this must be your younger son, Sherlock, yes? You have your father's eyes, young man. Father bows slightly to grandfather and Sir Elborn. There is a moment of quiet when Stefan's turn comes. Father reaches out to him awkwardly, expecting an embrace. But there is a question in Stefan's eyes as he looks at grandfather. The old man shakes his head almost imperceptibly. Come on, book. I can't do big words. I'm not very good at big words. It takes me time to recognize them. In case you haven't noticed, I'm not very good at speaking big words. Imperceptibly. There we go. I didn't do well in school, let's put it that way. Also, I came from Ireland, moved to England, went to a new school. Didn't do very well because I couldn't adjust to myself, but either way, I tried my best. We noblemen ought to put down our emotions on public display, father. Not even after a lengthy separation. God, he's... Okay, he's changed now. He's dick. Dick confirmed. Dick confirmed. There is no embrace. Instead, Stefan nods to his father curtly. He responds in kind, his face devoid of emotion. After greeting, you proceed to the sitting room. Elborn is the first to enter. He kisses your mother's hand and Gloria's too. He tussles Nathan's hair after he sees him hiding by the table. Grandfather acknowledges them with a glum nod. Greetings, Lydia Brante. I remember you... Wait, is this Stefan talking? Oh my god. Greetings, Lydia Brante. I remember you were kind to me when I was a child. When I was but a child. Fucking hell. And you must be Nathan. You could barely walk when I saw you last. Your elder brother ignores Gloria completely. Not even a greeting. You proceed to the dining room in a dignified manner and take your seats. The dishes smell delicious, but they merely punctuate the overwhelming tension at the table. Elborn is the only one with a friendly smile on his face. The dinner was splendid, Lydia. Did you choose the dishes yourself? You have a truly refined palate. It warms my heart to know that Stefan spent his early years with you. Womanly care always does a child good, no matter the estates. Your fork freezes in the air halfway to your mouth. You expect many things from a noble of the sword, but words of praise for a low-born woman are not one of them. You cast a glance at Grandfather. He looks like he is about to choke his own words. I haven't read in a while. Holy crap. I need to brush up on my reading skills, man. It would do my grandson more good to stay at boarding school among his equals. Please, Gregor, parenting is no less important. Nothing can replace a mother's love. I cannot deny it. It saddens me greatly that my late sister could not be there to raise Stefan. But there was still a family for him, and he was surrounded by love. How could that be bad? And besides, his father was by his side all the while. The father's example is always the best. After all, Robert earned the judge's rank the same way you did. Your grandson was surely following your footsteps. And who knows, perhaps even the younger men of the Brante family will contribute to the... You clumsy lowborn cretin! Gregor says. Everybody is startled by this sudden outburst. Grandfather's face turns red. He's glaring at a young lady servant holding a pitcher over a glass. Stefan is sitting right next to her, dabbing a napkin on a fresh stain on his jackets. Begone, assistant! The lady servant runs away, leaving the pitcher on a small table by the door. After a quiet moment, Elborn smiles again. It appears the servants have left us, yet dinner is far from over. I like Elborn. Worry not, uncle. There are enough Worry not, uncle! That was his actual voice, wasn't it? Worry not, uncle. There are enough commoners at this table to keep us served with food and drink. No, because he's more high class now. He's kind of learned his way. He's probably changed his voice quite a bit. He was a lot younger back then, so... Stefan glares at Gloria across the table. She is sitting right next to you. She shrinks down and hunches over under his gaze. Father furrows his brows. Mother covers her mouth with trembling hands. Grandfather sneers. Stefan's gaze does not move. The silence lasts for too long. Then she starts to rise from her chair. If the Brante gentleman so wish it... Your hands clench into fists under the table. How can he bring himself to humiliate his own family, his own mother and sister like this? It is all Grandfather's doing. Stefan could not even bring himself to embrace father without his permission. And yet they are noblemen, and they have the right to act this way. If there is any way this dinner can become more unbearable, you do not want to see it. So, do we insult your brother? You step out of line and insult Stefan for what he has done. Ingenuity goes up by 1. Stefan will get a destiny thing called Bad Blood. Stefan will be -1 relationships. Gloria will go up by 1. Or just be at 1. Make small talk over dinner. Nobility goes up to 1. And Gregor Brante will go up to 2 since I have a 1 relationship with my grandfather. Great. And join Gloria in her plights. Willpower will go +10. Gloria relation will go +1. I really want the willpower stat back up to, what, 0 if I get this. So, and that way it improves Gloria's relationship with me as well. I really don't care for Stefan. Let's join Gloria in her plight. You rise from the table and help your sister wait on your family. That's what I'm going to do. I'm taking slightly more risks than I would have probably done. Slight risk, but I'm still trying to keep it, you know. I want to challenge the system, not play it. You know what I mean? You deliberate for a moment, then take your napkin off your lap and rise to join Gloria. A moment later, you hear the sound of another chair moving. Your mother joins you. The three of you now refill glasses, serve food, and clear away dirty dishes. Sir Elborn tries to make small talk with father, but in vain, so he focuses his attention on grandfather and Stefan. Grandfather is pleased to inform him of Stefan's achievements at the boarding school, especially his exemplary sword fighting skills. Hey, we have good sword fighting skills. Do you want to have a fight? He constantly stresses the importance of your elder brother for the future of the family. You listen to him dispassionately as you continue serving new dishes to the table. As you wait at the nobleman's table, you, your sister, and mother never bump into each other. Your labor is impeccable. Grandfather could have not found fault with it even if he tried. Small talk rise in the rank. Your shoulders and back are aching, but you've being a manservant inside your own house hurts even more. When the guests finally leave, Mother and Gloria embrace you with relief. Hey, you gotta help the women out. They get treated like shit. Don't care being about manservant. You gotta take care of the women in your family, man. You should not neglect your relatives. You did not neglect your relatives and share their humiliation. And the composure that you have shown gave you new strength. Relations have gone up with Gloria. And the willpower's gone back to 0. Good. That means we might actually be able to do stuff when people are in trouble or about to die. Like the love of our lives, who now won't speak to us again. God, I miss her already. Okay, 11 years old. Hot, dry wind sweeps through the city from the barren lands around it. The noble residents of Asnote prefer to remain in their chambers, while the commandeers huddle in the tents or in the shade of the silver tree. You are on an errand right now. Your father wrote a letter to the noble acquaintance, and you are to deliver it. Tomas, the boy down the street, is tagging along. The two of you are inseparable now. Oh, my friend. Oh, friend. Oh, strong friend. Good friend. My best friend. I didn't choose to make him my friend, but I guess that is a commentary on friends in general. Like, usually the people you don't think end up being your best friend do end up being your best friend. It's kind of true. Like, I think, like, you that is the thing that happens. Like, I think it's the people who just kind of are cool and hang around with you and have nothing overly strange about them. Like, they're just like you, essentially. Like, they end up being your best friend, so. But I don't think you go setting out, like, that guy's going to be my best friend in 10 years, or that girl's going to be my best friend in 10 years. Like, Tomas will betray us, is what I'm going to say. We can't trust anyone, right? It's that kind of world. We can't trust anyone. We gotta work for ourselves. And make choices for ourselves. But not be an asshole about it like our brother. There we go. The errand is an easy one, so you decide to take this opportunity to loiter around the parts of Asnote where the nobles live. So here you are, in the middle of the city square, resting on an ancient brickwork, by the old fountain in the merciful shade, the gargantuan silver tree. Tomas is by your side, lazily slouching on the edge of the fountain's basin. It's a hard life for the commandeers like you and me. Either you break your back in the workshop day and night, hoping someone will buy you goods someday, or you become a manservant to some noble and you never get a chance to enjoy your own life. This is our lot, you remind him. We work and endure and suffer. But Tomas waves your words away. Yeah, I know that already. Mother keeps drilling that stuff into me. We must be humble. Our strength is patience and persistence. So yeah, I say... thanks for blocking the green cat. So yeah, I say, but I want to know... I want to make my fortune no matter what. So ain't that living by my lot, I ask you? But the lots, they ain't easy. They take you, for example. Brante, your father, he's a nobleman. But even if that didn't make you one, just look at your hands. You never had to work as hard as me. We have the same lots. So we're supposed to suffer the same? But look at your father, he's a judge. He toils around the prefecture day and night and doing his judging. And he's a noble? I've never seen an Arcanian work as hard as he does. You shrug. The Arcanians are a different race. The books say they were born to rule over the humans. They are never commandeers, always nobles of the sword by birth. They founded the empire after subduing all human kingdoms on the continent. Humans will never be their equals. Arcanians are always better, smarter, stronger, and their skin is a noble shade of blue. If the books are to be believed, of course. You've never seen one for yourself. Okay. So there's a bloodline sort of thing that's been passed down. So there's like humans, and then there's other kind of people like Arcanians who are not humans. They're a special kind of human who are nobles straight away. Always nobles by the sword by birth. Ah. Okay. They're like chosen ones. Special kind of people. And they have blue. The skin is a noble shade of blue. If the books are to be believed, of course, you've never seen one for yourself. Your idle chatter is suddenly interrupted by a rugged-looking guardsman dressed in black and green. He chases you away from the fountain. Common rabble like you have no place here. You hear the clattering of hooves and wheels against the cobblestones and see flags bearing a coat of arms. A sable serpent on the field of vert. It makes you squirm. It is the Archduke's coat of arms, the Middle-Ass dynasty. The carriage opens, revealing a young lady in a luxurious dress? Archduke of Arms? So that was the Middle-Ass dynasty. That was the guys who ran over Sophia, right? They were dressed for that. They came from that dynasty. It's a different woman. You cannot look away from her. Those dainty shoulders suggest, but not revealed by the cut of her dress, her black hair cascading over them, her steadily slim silhouette, her pouty lips and prim nose, and those eyes, dark like the night sky, and the way she moves fluidly and gracefully. And the most incredible of all, her skin glows an azure blue. She is a masterpiece given life. She is Arcanian. I don't know if you pronounce that right, but yeah, Arcanian. Oh. I think we found a woman. She's not a filthy human. She is of noble. But will she marry us? Will she even talk to us? Who fucking knows? Let's find out. Clear the way for me. Probably not. The Middle-Ass guardsmen, Middle-Ass guardsmen work quickly to clear the way for the fountain for the Arcanian lady. The searing sun dances on her skin in the bizarre patterns. With one elegant motion, she reveals a handkerchief, then leads over the basin and wipes her head and neck with its cool water. Well, I'll be. That's Octavia Middle-Ass, our Archduke's own daughter. The Arcanian turns away and proceeds gracefully back to her carriage. You see something slip out of her hand and fall into the cobblestones right next to you. Her handkerchief. It is right there by your feet. Intricate craftsmanship, expensive woven fabrics, delicately decorated with emerald filigree. Your heart skips a beat. Will you dare draw the beautiful Arcanian's attention in order to return her lost possession? Or would you rather not attempt to cross the chasm between you and her? Now, so what I've just learned, she is noble because she is Arcanian. So, I am scum. She is not. If a scum goes over to pick her handkerchief to give to her, I doubt that's going to be very, very pleasant, right? Flirt? I don't think this is the... No, well, I could. But no, because it's... How old is she? It didn't say, did she? Is she like an older woman? She's... I guess because I was falling in love with her, she's of interest to me, so... Probably maybe a little bit older or same age, whatever. I can't remember. We have all options available. So give the handkerchief to her. If I do that, I get the destiny of matters of the heart. Which I guess... She remembers you, relation-wise. That could come into play later down the line. I want to get as many friends as I can, you know? Don't want to make too many enemies in this game. My willpower will go down by -5, but it's only -5. Again, we could probably try to get back up again next time. It keeps going back down to minus every single time because all the choices seem to have a lot of willpower stuff in it. Or we stash the trophy, quickly hide the trophy, planning to sell it later. Relations with Thomas will go up, or willpower will go up to +5. Or keep the handkerchief as a memento. You watch the Arcanian lady depart, trying to burn her every movement into your memory. That will give us +10 willpower, which will be hugely helpful. Wink, wink. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm deciding between keeping the handkerchief because maybe if we bumped into her again, like on some occasion, you could kind of strike up a conversation saying, look, I had this for ages, I've been trying to give it to you. And then maybe that would start a conversation, or burn it into her memory that we gave it to her by giving her the handkerchief right then now. But I don't know if that will cause any... There's more chance of her remembering us doing this, obviously. I want to make friends in high places. Friends in low places. So, if I can... She's blue, yeah. If she was to fall in love with me, would that look bad on her? Because, say later down the line, she married me. She's noble, I'm not. Does that make me... That makes our child noble, right? Surely. But does that make... Does that clear me for being, you know, lowborn? Maybe. I'm gonna take the risk. If I have an opportunity to get one of these destiny things, I think that's important. Like, that's an important thing later down the line. So, and especially her remembering me, all I'm going to take really is like -5 willpower. So, it's not a lot I'm losing here. Except possibly what I'm doing might be considered bad, but I don't think it's bad. Someone just handing her a handkerchief. It's not like I'm beating her up, like, or anything. You know, it's just, you drop this, here you go. It's actually quite, like, servanty of someone to do that, you know, like, courtesy. If she spits in my face, she spits in my face. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. It takes a moment to overcome your fear. You follow the young lady at Middleass and call out to her in a nervous voice. He turns around, her beautiful face marred by the puzzled expression. You extend the dropped handkerchief towards her. Lady Octavia's face contorts into a sneer. She signs to the guardsman indifferently. Fuck. A guardsman's gauntlet clad hand slaps you in the face. It rings your head like a heavy bell, and your nose cracks obediently under the staggered force. The rest of you follow suit and you fall prone. You can discern the guardsman's voice through the painful din in your ears. Did I take the handkerchief back, lady? After Commandeer's hands have befouled it, let him wipe himself with it for all I care. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. That's what I was afraid that was going to happen. Hey, she remembers us, though. Maybe she'll feel bad for us when we're kind of cool and hip stuff. Carriage drives away. Tomas runs up to you and drags you back to the fountain. Your head is still ringing from the blow. The fateful handkerchief is still crumpled in your hand. No one really fucking likes anyone. No one likes anyone. No, it does. It's like, you know, it's just, you drop something, here you go. Fucking hell. Now, don't apologize. Like, that's kind of like what I was going for. Like, I thought, like, considering everything that's happened beforehand, I get, like, the rules. And you can't put your hands on someone, or you can't, like, start an argument with someone, or you can't object to these noble men, essentially. Or Arcanians. I thought, like, the smallest thing of, like, you drop this, here you go. No, that gets you beaten up. And insulted. So, literally, there's no reason for me to help anyone who is of noble Arcanian descent, because whatever I do to help them, they beat me up, essentially, is all that is. So I'm never, ever, ever going to help a noble or an Arcanian, because their reaction, unless they tell me to do it, because their reaction is always punch him, beat him up, you know, whatever. So I know this now. Not gonna help any of them. I thought it would just be like, she'll turn around and go, oh, thank you. Maybe you're not like all the bad humans in the world or whatever. And maybe I'll remember you because you were being so nice, and everyone's kind of too afraid to kind of step up and say something. Nope. Beat him up. Guards, beat him up. Done. Oh, I'm so like every woman I seem to have fallen. Well, there's only been two, but like they seem to have broken my heart quite quickly. I mean, the first one was I let a girl die. Okay, that's my fault. But she got reincarnated, and now she doesn't want to speak to me again or whatever. She just got reborn. It wasn't my fault. I didn't have enough willpower. Now I've lost willpower. I'm at -5 now. This is going well. But I did get the Matters of the Heart event, which the conditions were meet a girl. You experience your first romantic feelings. Wasn't Sophia my first romantic feelings? I guess if I saved her, that could have been something I would have got later. Or earlier, sorry. Maybe. Okay. What time is it now? Oh, we're coming up to 2 hours. Okay, I think we are gonna go for another... Got about 15 minutes left, unfortunately. That's all I have time for today. And it's really hot in here. We need to open a window. So we'll go for another 15 minutes, and we'll call it there. 12 years old now. You overhear an important conversation. It is a spring night, and your mother has just sent everyone to bed. You walk past your father's study and hear voices coming from beyond the door. Grandfather is yelling, and father is replying quietly. The elder Brante men are fighting, arguing about the place of the commandeers in the city. You sneak outside to avoid mother's attention and hide next to the open window of the study. Perhaps they'll mention you too. Well, your first kiss was with a gauntlet. Yeah, it was when, yeah. What a romantic time that was. That low-life idiot had a gall to pay me a visit and beg me for some service. I had the insolence to ask me outright. He thought I was going to support his claim for the chairman seat in the Lesser Quorum. How dare he? Father, please listen. Mayor Egmont may be a lowborn, but he carries a lot of clout in Magra. He owns 5 iron mines. A friend like him would be quite useful, should he become the chairman of the Lesser Quorum. I don't give a damn about who Egmont is, Roberts. He is, however, a lowborn. His lot is humility and obedience. The likes of him can never rule anything. There's nothing but a flock of sheep that need a firm, noble hand to guide them. I wasted so many years. God, this hurt my voice so much. I wasted so many years trying to quash the decorum decree, but that accused Cornelius Tempest did everything in his power to make the Emperor sign that pathetic screed. Now even lowlifes can wield power. True power, Roberts. Sip of Coke Zero. Just the right to discuss the size of Archduke's tax, nothing more. That is only the beginning. What's next? Are they going to arm the lowlifes now? Make them into judges? If the Empire rejects the foundations and the lots, and the entire evidence will crumble. Bah! Who am I telling this to? It is already crumbling, and you, my son and heir, are the harbinger of its destruction. Father, I'm begging you, I do not wish to marry a 3rd time. Lydia is a good wife and a dutiful mother to my children. If you would only allow her to... I will allow nothing, neither Egmont nor that freeloading wrench of yours. What will you want me to do next? Live by the laws of a lowborn? I can already see where this is going. I'd rather run my own sword through my gut than live in a country where nobles and lowlifes share the same rights. My only dream is to see the name of Brante in the Blue Book. But that dream will never come. Brante in the Blue Book. But that dream will never come. They will never call me Venerable L. Brante. And it's all because of this marriage of yours. Okay, so... Were we putting 2 and 2 together there? The Blue Book. My dream is to see the name of Brante in the Blue Book. I'm guessing that is related to the blue skin, I can't remember the name of them now. There's so many people in this, but you know what I mean. The nobles. Maybe it's a book of great nobles. Possibly. That's probably why he's trying to. Train up the brother, my brother so much, elder brother. Is a blue book some sort of like greats? I guess maybe greats. And then he says, Venerable L. Brante. Now, I can't look. The cousin, sorry, the uncle to my older brother has an L thingy in it as well. So is that related to nobles, that you get an L or something, and the blue book is some sort of like book of greats, noblemen in history, like a kind of like a Hall of Fame sort of deal? When Dan gets sponsored by Coca-Cola, I wish I would happily accept it. Well, Coke Zero. I don't drink sugary drinks, unfortunately. I used to, and then it was bad. It was real bad for me, and I had to stop drinking sugary drinks. Coke Zero. If you're listening, if you're watching, give me a sponsorship. I'll happily do a Coke Zero sponsorship. I will sell out massively on this channel for a Coke Zero sponsorship. Absolutely. Maybe the blue book is about the blue Arcanians. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It must be it's related. It must be related to them, because why would it be called a blue book? You know, it's got to be related to the blue skin Arcanians. Yeah. So his dream is to see the Brante in the blue book. This is why he's trying to train up our brother so much by trying to get him to the boarding school, because he wants him to be in that book, I guess. And he's so occupied with people calling him L. Brante. Like, I'm assuming that is a name that is given to maybe the first father or the person highest in the family tree before, you know, next person dies, that gets like an L to their name for raising that child. Possibly, I don't know. I'm not sure where the L Brante or the L of the other family comes in, but it seems to be that way. It's a very status thing. All of this seems to be like, I want to be the high state, you know, Brante in the blue book where the Arcanians are and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. My only hope is now to hear Stefan addressed in such a manner one day. There we go. Thank the twins. I didn't let you ruin the boy. He's about to grow up to be a true nobleman. His children will bear the name of L. Brante. You have 2 more grandsons. I need to do the voice again. Those spineless milksops from the common lots, they're incapable of anything. The best your middle son could do is sneak into the Imperial College and get ennobled by the mantle. Although, I have grave doubts even about that. And as for that Don-trotted Nathan, I hold out no hope for him whatsoever. He's like a small child. You hear grandfather's heavy footsteps, the thudding of the cane and the slamming of the door. It's time to sneak back home before you're discovered. El Fogio Fog Foggerson Forgoen Fogoso. See, I got it. We should have been called that. It does feel like that sometimes. El Brante, Sir Sherlock El Brante of the third El Brante family. Sherlock is asleep now, he's not hearing. I named you after this fuck. I named my character after you. Don't you have any respect for me? Human? Non-nobleman? Cat? Wonder if pets in this world are considered nobles. Who knows? Okay, so the power. This is current balance of power in Macra. Power gone up by 1. It's currently set at -3. That's anything that has changed. School begins. We're not even in our teenage years. Why did I call this stream a teenage years? We're not really in our teenage years, are we? Barely into it. Probably have to rename it now after the stream. School starts. Start studying at the school of Sir Timbor and begin to master the sciences. Okay. I think everything saves by itself, doesn't it? Yeah. I think first day at school and our school life, or whatever this amazing school is going to be, probably going to be quite controversial school. I will save it for the next time. But still, really good. Really, 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 really enjoying this game. It seems like it's going to be quite a long one. Because we've only made it, like, to this point. Like, well, it's been 2 streams, about, like, 5 hours, I think, of playing it, maybe. So it may take a while to get through the entire game. But I will still play it. Might have to play it on like once a week, maybe once or twice a week if I can. We'll definitely start a stream for this on the next stream next week. Let me think. When are we streaming next? So we're streaming tomorrow, E3, and then Sunday. Monday, maybe? Am I doing anything on the Monday? Possibly Monday. I might come back to this. Yeah, let's do Monday, probably. Because then I got Monday, we'll do some Sir Brante. On Tuesday, I've got the Nintendo showcase at E3. And then we'll do it once a week, I think. We'll do Sir Brante once a week. It will take a while to finish it completely, but we'll do a playthrough once a week of it. I think that'll be good. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I'm intrigued to see mostly how all these destinies and stuff that we've collected, because we got 3 now, how they change or affect the game later on down the line. Like, it seems to be like you build up that whole catalog of skills and stuff, still doing that now, obviously, and then there's like an event or something that happens, a major event that happens later on down the line, and then you can't really, you have to use everything you've learned, the skills and everything, your destinies you've achieved in the past and things, to work your way around it, maybe. But it's a really like in-depth world and stuff, and it's really interesting to learn. So I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely one that's keeping my attention. Usually with games like this where it's just reading, it can get to the point where you're just like, I'm bored now. Like, I get it, but I'm actually quite intrigued by it. It's a really interesting world and premise and stuff like that. And the more every kind of chapter, like with today, you learn more and more about the people, like the Arkansans and the blue skin, according to the books and things like that. You learn more and more about how this world kind of like clicks together, and that's really interesting. So every single time I play this, it's like, oh, now I know this about the world, so I can take that into account as well. So it really does seem like a good game, though. Yeah, it is. It's I really enjoy it. I think it's really good. But I will be back. We'll do a stream of this on Monday, so I can squeeze that in between E3 and stuff, and we'll continue on Monday and stuff. If you're joining me tomorrow, as I said, the streams for E3 are up on the homepage of the HiMyNameIsDan channel on YouTube, so you can set reminders and stuff. So tomorrow there's only 2 streams I'm doing, but they're probably going to be quite long, especially the Ubisoft one. So we got Guerrilla Games Collective, which is going to be a bunch mostly of indie games, so if you want to see indie games and stuff, check that out. That's happening about 4 p.m. my time, so early on the East and Pacific side. And then Ubisoft is happening at, was it 7 or 8 p.m. my time, I think. Happening a little later on tomorrow, so that should be maybe interesting. Maybe. We'll see what Ubisoft bring. Maybe they'll have some updates. It could be just a stream full of updates to current games. That is very likely what the Ubisoft stream could be like. Or it could be like, let's announce something big. But I'm probably not expecting too much. 4:30 p.m. Central European. I have everything. Yeah, I really should have this open before I start talking about it, shouldn't I, really? Let me get it. I'm just going to look at my homepage. So it is. I start tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. British Standard Time. So it'll be early morning on the American side. 4:30 European time, and then I start again at 7:30 p.m. British Standard Time, which is 8:30 European time, and obviously in the afternoon on the American side. So I'll be streaming twice tomorrow, 2 different things, and then we have a big ass day on Sunday where I'm streaming about 3 times for the whole day. So yeah. Central European is BST +1. Yes, that's right. So whatever it if you look on the YouTube page, it will be down. It will show you in your time, wherever you guys are, like wherever your time is. It will show you the exact time and wherever your location is. So anyway, be back tomorrow. More E3. Gonna be quite exciting. We'll see what happens. Have a lovely day. Enjoy your Friday. Thank you very much for checking the stream out. I'll just see you very, very soon. Happy Friday, everyone. Bye. Bye.